fifth question is, when do we have summer in the northern hemisphere? When do we have summer in the northern hemisphere, children? Let's discuss. Okay? The northern hemisphere receives more heat and light of the sun when the North Pole tilts towards the sun, and therefore we have summer in the northern hemisphere. Next question, sixth question. Why is the length of the day and night equal on 21st March, children? Let's discuss. The length of the day and night is equal on 21st March because the rays of the sun fall directly on the equator. If the sun rays fall directly on the equator, the length of the day and night is equal. The length of the day and night is equal on 21st March because of the sunfall directly on the equator. Seventh question. Differentiate between rotation and revolution. You can write it very short method, or you can write it in a long method. That is left to you. Okay. The movement of the earth on its axis from west to east is rotation. It takes a day or 24 hours to complete one rotation. The movement of the earth on its axis around the sun in an orbit is known as revolution. It takes Earth 365 days or 1 year to complete one revolution. Next question, eighth question. Explain equinoxes and solstices with the help of a diagram. See here. There are two solstices where the sun stands still. The summer solstice, which is on 21st June, where the sun's rays fall directly on the Tropic of Cancer. Winter solstice is on 21st December, and the rays of sun fall directly on the Tropic of Capricorn. Equinoxes are also of two kinds. The sun's rays fall directly on the equator. In both the equinoxes, which is on 21st March for spring equinox and 23rd September for autumn equinox. I will show the picture also. See here, this is the picture, solstices and equinoxes. This picture is in your textbook. Next, distinguish between axis and orbit. What do you mean by axis? Axis is an imaginary line. Axis is an imaginary line that joins the North Pole and the South Pole, whereas orbit is a fixed elliptical path on which the Earth moves around the Sun during revolution. Axis is an imaginary line that joins the North Pole and the South Pole, whereas orbit is a fixed elliptical path on which the Earth moves around the Sun during revolution. The next question is, as the Earth's axis is tilted, the amount of sunlight received by different regions is not the same. What effect would it have on the climate of region? Answer is, see here. As the Earth axis tilted, the amount of sunlight received by different regions is not the same, and the length of the day is also different. When the North Pole tilts towards the Sun, the northern hemisphere receives more heat and light of the Sun. Hence, there is a summer in the northern hemisphere. During the same period, the South Pole is tilted away from the Sun and does not receive much sunlight. Hence, the southern hemisphere experiences winter season. Similarly, when the North Pole tilts away from the Sun, the northern hemisphere has winter and the southern pole or South Pole experience summer season. Second question. Imagine what would happen if the Earth had no movement. Discuss with the class. What will happen, children? Tell me. Earth had no movement. What will happen? Huh? Just guess. Can you guess the answer? Huh? See here. If the Earth had no movement, then there would be no rotation of the Earth from west to east, and there will be no day or night. Also, there would be no revolution of the Earth around the Sun, and there will be no climates or seasons in the northern and southern hemisphere. If the Earth had no movement, then life would not have been possible on Earth. Is it, children? Huh? Is it correct? If the Earth had no movement, then there would be no rotation and revolution. If the Earth had no movement, then life would not have been possible on Earth. Okay, all the exercise questions are completed from the which lesson? Which lesson, children? Earth and its movements, or movements of the Earth. Earth and its movements. We have completed the exercise part. Thank you.